The field hockey team continues their great season.
And the football team breaks their losing streak.
The show you've been waiting all week for starts right now. Welcome to All Access, the show that's more entertaining than a Giants game. I'm Derek Hill.
And I'm Rebecca Solzbeck. The Giants are stuck in the past and slowly crumbling, but our Rowan sports teams are holding stronger than them. Derek?
Thanks, Rebecca. Rowan University women's soccer team defeated Rutgers Newark at home 4-1 on Saturday, October 13th at their senior game. Dara Wagner led Rowan with 1 goal and 2 assists. Daria Jones had 1 goal and 1 assist, and Lauren Wood and Catherine McCary each had 1 goal as well. Goalie Shelby Money ended the game with 5 saves. The Profs' next game is a rescheduled game against Arcadia University on Tuesday, October 16th at 5 p.m.
The Rowan men's soccer team hosted Rutgers Newark on Saturday. The team scored 3 goals in the first half, with 2 by Ryan Campbell and 1 by Kevin Primich, while Rutgers scored 0. The Profs scored another goal, making the game 4-0 late in the second half. It was another goal by Ryan Campbell in the 74th minute. The game ended 4-0 with a Profs win, and they outshot Rutgers Newark 28-7. Shane Doherty had 2 assists, Madhu So had 1 assist, and goalie Kyle Dennis had 3 saves. The men's soccer team next hosts conference rival Rutgers Camden on Wednesday, October 17th at 7 p.m.
The Rowan University women's soccer team won 1-0 over Arcadia University in a rescheduled game on Tuesday evening. Forward Daria Jones scored the game winner in the 85th minute. She hit the left side of the net after a feed from midfielder Sarah Rosenberg. It was Jones's 13th goal this season. Goalkeeper Shelby Money stopped 7 shots for her 7th shutout.
The men's soccer team hosted Rutgers Camden on Monday night in an evenly matched game. After the first half ended with no score, the Profs were able to get on the board first in the 75th minute. Ryan Campbell would score a beauty after taking the ball himself from midfield. Rutgers Camden would then tie the match in the 79th minute with a goal from Trenton Hall. It would remain tied until the 96th minute when Shane Doherty would sink one in the back of the net to give the Profs a 2-1 lead. After the huge win, the team will face Ramapo on Saturday.
The Rowan football team traveled to the College of New Jersey on Saturday after their week off. Rowan went into this game coming off of a loss, but they picked up their winning ways once again. The Profs scored 17 points in the first half with a touchdown from running back John Mannion, an interception each from cornerback Travell Curry and safety Malaki Wintersand, and a field goal from kicker Ethan McCarron. In the second half, TCNJ fought back, scoring 14 points, but Rowan defense stepped up and stopped the Lions on their last 3 drives to claim the win. The 17-14 victory is a great lead in to the team's homecoming game this Saturday as they host Wesley College.
The professional sports world rolls on as Kayla Santiago joins us for this week's Pro Talk.
Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Pro Talk. I am your host, Kayla Santiago, keeping you up to date with all the news happening in pro sports. Let's get started. Through 6 weeks of football, only 1 team remains undefeated, and that is Los Angeles Rams, holding a record at 6-0. The Los Angeles Rams escaped the Denver Broncos with a narrow 3-point win on Sunday, beating the Broncos 23-20. It was a great game for Todd Gurley and the rushing attack, but Jared Goff certainly wasn't at his best. The Broncos sacked Goff 5 times, which is the most he's been taken down since Week 17 of the 2016 season, when he was sacked 7 times. Rams running back Todd Gurley is the first 200-yard-plus rusher since Marshall Faulk in 2001. Gurley finished with 28 carries for 208 yards. It was a new career high rushing yard total for Todd Gurley. The Kansas City Chiefs lost their first game this season on Sunday night against the New England Patriots 43-40. The game came down to the wire as the Patriots kicker, Steven Gostkowski, hit a 28-yard field goal to win it. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady passed for 340 yards in his 200th victory as a starting quarterback. Brady also passed teammate Adam Vinatieri for the most career wins in the regular season and playoffs combined with 227. The Philadelphia Eagles finally got out of their slump and put up 34 points Week 6 against the New York Giants on Sunday. The Giants may have lost, but the New York Giants rookie running back Saquon Barkley had 130 rushing yards on 13 carries with 1 touchdown. Barkley became the 7th player in NFL history to record 10 yards per rush, 10 yards per carry, 90 rushing yards, and 90 receiving yards in a singular game. Carson Wentz threw for 278 yards and 3 touchdowns. Eagles wide receiver Nelson Aguilar had 91 receiving yards and caught 3 receptions. Let's see if the Philadelphia Eagles can keep up their momentum and get a win on Sunday at home against the Carolina Panthers. The MLB playoffs are underway as the Boston Red Sox are facing the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers are playing the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers and host Los Angeles Dodgers played deep into the night on Tuesday, and not until the 13th inning was Game 4 of the National League Championship Series decided. It was a taut, low-scoring game until Cody Bellinger's walk-off single plated Manny Machado and gave the Dodgers a 2-1 win. Dodgers starter Rich Hill pitched a solid game. Brewers' Gio Gonzalez departed with an injury after only 1 inning and was removed from the postseason roster due to the ankle injury. Both Dodgers and Brewers bullpens gave heroic efforts. The Dodgers have now tied the best-of-7 series at 2-2. In their Game 3 loss, the Dodgers were 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position with 8 men left on base. That trend continued in Game 4 as LA just went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position and 11 runners stranded until Bellinger stepped in the 13th inning hitting a walk-off hit. It was Cody Bellinger's first walk-off hit of his career. Boston Red Sox pitcher Nathan Eovaldi proves he's postseason worthy with another overpowering start. He held the Houston Astros to 2 runs in 6 innings to lead the Red Sox to an 8-2 win in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. Eovaldi became the first pitcher to post back-to-back quality starts this postseason. Eovaldi shut down the Houston Astros in the 6th inning when he touched on a 101 mile per hour and threw a pitch that was 101.4 miles per hour earlier in the night. These were Eovaldi's hardest pitches of the season, and he averaged over 99 miles per hour on the night. Moving on to hockey, the Philadelphia Flyers win their first home game of the season, 6-5 against the Florida Panthers. The Flyers surrendered the game's first goal for the 6th time in 6 games. Blowing what was a 3-goal lead with under 23 minutes left in regulation is less than ideal, but when the fans walked out on Tuesday night, they did so celebrating a home victory for the first time since last year's final game of the regular season. Claude Giroux and Wayne Simmons each netted a pair of goals. Jordan Weal added his first of the year and tacked on the game winner in the shootout. Voracek also converted his attempt, while Calvin Pickard was good enough in relief after Brian Elliott allowed 4 goals on 23 shots. The regular season of basketball has started as the Golden State Warriors celebrated ring night in style prior to the regular season opener against the Oklahoma City Thunder on Tuesday night. In honor of the 2017-2018 NBA championship, players, coaches, and owners received their rings from the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. The sellout crowd got to watch ring night and got to watch the Golden State Warriors beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 108-100. The Philadelphia Sixers lost to the Boston Celtics Tuesday night 105-87. Ben Simmons was the best player on the court for the Sixers with 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. The Sixers have to improve if they want to have a winning rivalry with the Boston Celtics. It was only Game 1 of the season, so let's see how the Sixers will respond in Game 2 Thursday night at home against the Chicago Bulls. That's all I have for you on this week's Pro Talk. Stay tuned after the break as Mo sits down with members of the football team for this week's Rowan Roundtable.
Welcome back to All Access. It's time for our Rowan Roundtable. Joining me today are Travell Curry and Anthony DiOrio from the football team. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So, our first question, which as seniors, what's your favorite Rowan football memory?
Well, for me, I'll have to say, my favorite Rowan football memory would have been, about 4 years ago. We had this away game at Christopher Newport. It was a night game. It was rainy, muddy, the field was nasty or whatever, so I remember it was a close game, and somehow, at the end, we ended up winning. And the part that I loved the most was, Coach Accorsi, the head coach, he jumped in the mud, rubbed his face in it, and then rubbed it all around. So that would be my favorite Rowan football moment.
For me, we actually incorporated music into practice this year. So the players made a playlist, and some of the coaches actually made a playlist. So the first day, the coaches put their music on. They put the oldies on. We had a couple coaches start singing and dancing. I don't think I ever laughed so hard at practice before. So that was definitely a great memory.
Okay. So moving on, let's talk about the season. You know, guys started off 3-0, and after that, you know, had a more difficult couple games, went 1-2. So let me ask y'all, what did you guys have to do to overcome those tough 2 losses?
To overcome them 2 losses, I feel like as a team, we just had to regroup and come together as a whole. So us getting our mind right, believing in ourselves, and knowing what we're capable of, and getting our confidence and swagger back. So knowing that we can play at a high level.
Yeah, we just had to fix all the little things, all the details, and just execute better. We knew we had the talent to win games. We just had to believe in ourselves and execute the plays that were given to us.
So coming up this week, it's homecoming, game against Wesley. How important is it for you guys to win y'all last homecoming game?
It would be amazing. It's very, very important. I would like to beat Wesley, so I like to win every game, hopefully, but especially homecoming, there should be a nice turnout, a crowd, your family, and it should be fun. It's very important.
Yeah, it's going to be a great atmosphere. We have so many alumni coming back. Our families will all be there. We just want to win for this program, and Wesley's a great team, and we're definitely excited for the challenge.
So, and continuing that, after 3 straight years of losing to Wesley, how do you guys plan on changing it this week coming up?
It's just confidence. We know we have the ability. We just have to be confident, do the little things right, execute what's being called, and go out there and have fun. That's all it's really about.
Yeah, just like what Travell said, we got to have fun, we got to be loose, and we just got to play fast. If we're confident in each other, then I think we have a good chance at winning.
So moving forward, your next 4 games, what do you guys have to do in order to win these 4 and you know, hopefully make the playoffs?
Well, to win these next 4 games, for us, it would be taking it 1 game at a time. Don't look too far into the future. Take it week by week. Don't take anything for granted, because you really don't know when it might be your last down. So just living in the moment.
Right. I mean, every team we play in the NJAC's good. There's no easy week. So, I mean, each week we got to come out, we got to prepare, we got to listen to our coaches, and we got to execute the assignments that they give us.
So, Travell, noticed this year, lead the team in interceptions with 3. I was just wondering, you know, this being your career high in interceptions, what have you done differently to perform at your highest rate?
For me, it's all about staying healthy. Like, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do out there. I'm confident in my ability. I love to compete. So just staying healthy and being there for my team is the most important thing for me.
Got you. And Anthony, you haven't seen as many touches as you're used to in the past years. How has that affected you mentally and physically?
Mentally, it hasn't affected me too much. Sometimes I'd be a little frustrated, but they've incorporated me in other ways. I've put on a lot more plays for blocking. So I get to block for guys like John, guys like Messiah. It's a whole different ball game. It's been a lot of fun. It's definitely different, but it's been a fun year so far.
So, in going and attending some of the games, you know, I've heard audience, you know, fans and whatnot, mention that the offense is somewhat stalled, you know, that it's somewhat predictable. So what would you guys say to, I don't know, I guess those comments?
Well, offense is an 11-man deal. One guy messes up their assignment, it messes up the whole play. So in order for us to be successful in offense, every guy has to be on the same page. Every guy has to execute what they're supposed to execute. In the games we lost, that didn't happen. So we've looked back, we've watched film, we know what our mistakes were, and moving forward, those mistakes won't happen again.
Okay. So, Travell, defense has dominated, you know, played pretty well for the past 2-3 years. How has that stayed consistent?
It's the culture. When I came in here, the defense was top dogs. Like, I looked up to the people that was here when I was younger, and to keep that culture going, the hard work ethic, the grind, the grit, AKA the dark side. That's what we call it on defense. We the dark side, so just keep that going. We know what we can do, and let's do it.
Okay. Well, that is all the time we have for this Rowan Roundtable. I would like to thank Travell and Anthony for joining me. Derek and Rebecca, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Mo. It's time to set and serve up some volleyball recaps. Rebecca?
Thanks, Derek. The Rowan University volleyball team fell to SUNY New Paltz 3-1 in the first match of the Hudson Valley Quad on Friday. Opposite hitter Kaylee Gallagher led the offense with 11 kills, followed by Jamie Schertz with 9. Setter Tori Mock and setter Elena Santa Cruz paced the Profs as they handed out 21 and 16 assists. Libero Emma Cormican and Erin Keegan amassed 18 digs apiece.
The Rowan University women's volleyball team split a pair of matches in the Hudson Valley Quad match this past Saturday. The Profs won their first match of the day against Bard College. The set scores ended 25-16, 25-8, and 25-14. Opposite hitter Megan Jacoby led the Profs with 8 kills. Opposite hitter Kaylee Gallagher added 5, and setters Tori Mock and Elena Santa Cruz had 14 assists each. Defensive specialist Kristen Akin and Tori Mock led the defense with 8 digs each, followed by outside hitter Erin Keegan, who had 6. Following this match, Rowan would take on Morrisville State College.
After the win against Bard College, the Profs volleyball team would take on Morrisville State College. The Profs would take the first set by a narrow 25-23 margin. After dropping the second set, the team would bounce back for a solid 25-19 win in the third and lead 2-1. It was the fourth set, however, that was a doozy for the team, as they lost 25-9. They would also drop the fifth set, ultimately losing the match 3-2. Despite the loss, Erin Keegan had an impressive performance, posting 9 kills and 2 aces.
On Tuesday night in the senior game, the Rowan University women's volleyball team won 3 straight sets against New Jersey City University. The Profs were able to hold on to their lead during the first set, scoring the final 2 points off a New Jersey City error and a kill from Erin Keegan to win the set 25-23. In the second set, New Jersey City University tried to come back, but outside hitter Megan Jacoby ended the set with a kill to win 25-15. The third set ended when the Profs scored the final 5 points for the win of 25-17. After this match, Rowan moved to 16-13 and 5-2 in the New Jersey Athletic Conference.
After the break, our Ayala Gideon sits down with more members of the football team in this week's Prof Spotlight.
Welcome back to All Access. Time for this week's Prof Spotlight. Joining me are Kevin Stokes and John Mannion from the football team. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so talk about the team and what do they mean to you?
I mean, being on the team is like special to me, like meeting all these guys and like building connections. So it's just an honor to be on the team.
Mm-hmm. And as captain, what about you?
I'll pretty much say the same thing as John, pretty much just having this whole new dynamic from your family back at home to like everybody's personality coming into college is definitely something really nice to have and helps you build on and learn a lot of things about different people from different places.
All right, so if we were to compare the stats from last season and this season, we actually seen more of improvement. Yes, we lost to the same 2 teams who actually saw a win against TCNJ, so nice job. Let's talk about that game.
I think that we just came together as a team coming off 2 losses and that we were able to just put the offense and defense together and get a win.
Pretty much that same as John said again. We did a lot of improvement over the bye week. We talked it over. We really helped find ourselves after those 2 hard losses. And then we came back for a nice, hard, well-fought game in a close competition against a good in-conference rival.
Well, that's what I like to hear. Oh, so the first loss of the season was delivered by Frostburg State, who were and are still undefeated in their conference. Let's talk about that game. We versed them earlier this season.
Yeah, they're like top 5 team in the nation now, so we knew it would be like a tough game, but it was early in the season for us, and it was like a good test to see where we're at, and you know, they're a good opponent, so like we struggled versus them, but I think we fixed some things and we're looking to bounce back coming off that loss.
Yeah, it was very good, gut check for us to see. We knew that we were coming into the game hot like we did last year, and they were coming in just as hot, being ranked nationally and everything. So it was definitely a good competition to see how we stand up against a team that's been picked and so highly thought of during the divisions or the conference. So yeah, so even though that we struggled in the game and we ended up losing overall, we definitely learned a lot about ourselves and figured out that we did have still a lot to work on for us this season.
All right, so that's what you want to take away from any game, win or lose.
Yep.
All right, homecoming game is against Wesley College, and last year we did see a loss, and they're currently 5-1. How has Coach prepared you guys for the game?
Well, I think that we've had a good week of practice so far this week. They're also another top 10 team in the nation, so it's a motivation for us to be playing in front of a big crowd for homecoming and knock off a top team. So, we're motivated and ready to play them.
I think that was Coach's goal with this as well, knowing that Wesley's always tough every year since they've entered the conference. So he wanted to make sure that everybody on our team brings their A game, because we know that Wesley isn't going to come in here just for jokes or anything. They're going to come in for business, and they want to continue to try to rise through the rankings. So we want to make sure that we're in our peak form and we compete with them the whole game.
Well, if that's the plan, I'm ready to watch. Okay. So personal season highlights from either, this season or your previous seasons. Anything comes to mind?
I think I had a good start to the season, and this year, I'm playing healthy. Last year I was playing hurt, so playing healthy is a lot easier than playing hurt. So I'm just having a lot of fun this season and just enjoying it.
As you should. It's your senior year.
It might be a little bit opposite. I had a really good year last year. I started off very hot, and I got kind of started to level out midway towards the end of the season. This season, I'm starting off a little bit slower, but it's more so about I'm happy that I can help the younger guys develop during the season as much as I would like my stats to be a little bit better, but ultimately I know there's more to the game than just how I play personally. So as long as we have better success, we're better off now than we were last year, I'm happy with the results.
All right. So any goals for the end of the season?
Well, for the season, we just want to keep winning and having fun and developing as a team and just going out and, most importantly, having fun, but also we want to win and just have a good season and have a better end result than last season.
Right. So personally for you, do you want to try to be first in conference and kick return average?
I mean, personal stats are good and all, but I'd rather win than have any personal goals.
Right.
That's a good answer.
Great answer. And last year you won the NJAC first team, and you also had the Joyce Solomon Leadership Award. Tell me about that experience.
It was really nice to get that my second year starting as a junior. It was really nice just to have that accomplishment to be recognized by my peers and coaches all throughout the conference. So it was really nice to be recognized, like I just said, by not only all the coaches, all the players, but by the university as a whole. So that was really cool. I'd be lucky to get any of the same accolades this year.
All right. Well, that is all the time we have. I'd like to thank Kevin and John for coming. Derek and Rebecca, back to you at the desk.
Welcome back to All Access. Time to lace up our kicks and join in the cross-country action. Rebecca?
Thanks, Derek. The women's cross-country team competed in the inter-regional border battle on Saturday. They would finish 23rd overall in a team scoring. Madison Edwards was 86 in the 6K race with a time of 23 minutes and 15.3 seconds. Carly Toll and Jennifer Clavins would follow close behind with times just under 24 minutes. Johns Hopkins would prevail with the team title in the match.
The men's cross-country team would also compete in the inter-regional border battle on Saturday. They would finish 11th overall in team scoring out of 42 teams. The team would be led by Daniel Fitch-Henry, who would earn 26th place on the 8K race with a time of 25 minutes, 36.8 seconds. Matt Russo would finish 44th, with Cyril Harvey rounding up the top three Profs finishers in 53rd.
The Rowan University field hockey team shut out Ramapo College 7-0 on Saturday. It was the Profs' sixth shutout of the season. Forward Bridget Gunnan led the way with 3 goals. Midfielders Christina Castagnola, Bridget Boyle, Liz Fox, and Miranda Maccabiach contributed with 1 goal each. The Profs remain undefeated at 14-0 and are ranked 5th in the nation.
The Rowan field hockey team holds on to their winning streak after a conference showdown at home on Tuesday night. The game ended with a score of 3-2. The 3 goals were scored by forward Rachel Gallant, back Julie Johnson, and back Casey Wagner. Following the game, the Profs moved ahead of the TCNJ Lions to 4th in the National Field Hockey Coaches Association Division III coaches poll. The Profs stay undefeated with a record of 15-0 and a 5-0 mark in the New Jersey Athletic Conference.
That's all we have for this episode of All Access. For Mo Ware, Ayala Gideon, Kayla Santiago, and Derek Hill, I'm Rebecca Solzback. We'll see you next time on All Access.